Let's now shift our focus to the U.S. financial capital, New York, which has been hit by historic flooding. What we will show you now are unbelievable visuals from the world's most well-known megacity. With airports and subways flooded, the whole of New York and neighborhood New Jersey have now come to a grinding halt. Roads have turned into rivers. Highways have caved in and vehicles are submerged in flood waters. New York City has declared an emergency. Rescue work is ongoing and several are now feared missing. Fires have gutted homes. Emergency crews have been struggling to reach disaster-hit areas which have been cut off by floods. On your screen now are visuals from an airport managed by the New York and New Jersey authorities. Planes have been parked on flooded tarmacs, while several flights have been cancelled as heavy rain is expected to continue. The subway system, the lifeline of New York City, has also been closed after floodwaters entered low-lying stations. Motorists remain stranded as a major interstate highway remains submerged. Survivors say that they are lucky to be alive.
And then I said, okay, let's go. And then when I opened the door got stuck too. So maybe because of the water pressure or something, I don't know why. And then we can't even go out. So I called the friends to come to save us, to open the door.
Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has said that the recent catastrophe is a clear indication that the climate crisis is here.
Past few days of Hurricane Ida and the wildfires in the West and the unprecedented flash floods in New York and New Jersey is yet another reminder that these extreme storms and the climate crisis are here. We need to be much better prepared. We need to act.
New York State Governor has said that authorities are still taking stock of the damages. People have been advised to stay inside.
Because of climate change, unfortunately, this is something we're going to have to deal with great regularity, and we want to assure all New Yorkers that we're prepared for this and we'll do everything we can in our power to protect human life and property.
Meanwhile, survivors have been left with damaged houses and shops. They say that it will take them years to recover from the losses.
I honestly feel heartbroken for everything that happened. I don't know how to even make a comeback out of this right now. I can't even explain what is my next move to do here to do things right. I just called my insurance company to see if they could help us, but as far as rebuilding this place, I am willing to rebuild my business back, but I don't know if it's going to be in this location after this or not.
For more on this, our correspondent William Denslow sent us more details in this next report from New York. Take a look.
It's a beautiful day here in New York City with the sun shining, but the impact of the deluge of rain that New York received overnight still very much being felt. That the cause of post-tropical cyclone Ida. As you can see behind me, still some water gathered here in Brooklyn, New York, and it was this particular area that overnight was essentially underwater, impossible practically for cars to move. There's a parking lot just behind me, cars still very much underwater. Residents wondering if they'll be impossible to be used again or whether they're totally unusable after the amount of rain that collected in that particular parking garage. Putting into perspective just how much rain fell overnight. Well, just over a week ago when Tropical Storm Henri hit, New York set a new record for the wettest hour on record, nearly 2 inches of falling in Central Park in the space of an hour. That record was shattered between the hours of 8:51 and 9:51 on Wednesday evening in New York City, over 3 inches falling in that time period. According to the National Weather Service, between 6 to 10 inches of rain may have fallen in some periods over the space of a couple of hours. The impact of that, we saw the first ever flash flood emergency in New York City. A travel ban was put in place until 5 a.m. Officials urging people to stay off the roads if they possibly could.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.